Hello everyone, welcome to Debjit Decodes. So from this video onwards, we are starting with a new playlist on data structures. And in this video, we'll be talking about the introduction part. Now, whenever you hear a new topic or a new name or a new subject, the first question that should be in your mind, that is why. That is why data structure. Why should I invest my time on this subject? Why should I see these videos in this playlist? And the answer for data structure is really simple. Because question from this subject is asked rigorously in big tech companies interviews, or say any interview if you're from computer science. Say companies like Google, companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Microsoft, they keep on asking questions from this thing. Also, this is really important in terms of some big competitive exams like GATE, UGC NET, etc. And if you see from university exams point of view, this is a really backbone of the computer science. Okay, so this is also needed there very much. But if you ask me from another perspective, apart from the 3 points I've mentioned, I would simply say learn this subject because it is really brain boosting. Learn this subject because this is really fun to learn. There are so many things to learn. There are so many brain puzzles and all these things. We'll be seeing so many things in the coming videos. So that's why you should always go for this subject or go for this topic. Now, before going to some name of some fancy data structures or before seeing those fancy data structures like array, linked list, trees, graphs, we'll be seeing in the coming videos. But before going there, let us take some real life example and let us understand from that perspective first. Now, I have said just now that like companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, they are asking questions from data structures. But they are not asking you to make any app or develop any app then and there. Why so? Why they are asking questions from data structures? Now, you will be getting the answers soon. Now, let us take some real life examples as I said. Say first of all, let us take the dictionary one. What is dictionary? Now, if you are asked that like find the word say a computer, what is the meaning of the word computer? So what should you do? Should you start from the first page of the dictionary and flip one page and then again search, flip one page and then again search? Will you do that? Or simply you will start with the pages which starts with C. You will be going to the pages which start with C. You will be skipping A and B. You will be trying to skip A and B. You will be applying the second approach, right? But think about this one. If you would have applied the first approach, that is starting from the first page, if you are flipping one by one, you will be reaching to the word computer. And you will be getting the meaning of it, right? So it is not that the first approach was wrong. The first approach was getting you the answer because your target was what? To find the meaning of the word computer. So the first approach as well as the second approach, both will be giving you both will be fetching the meaning of the computer. But this first approach was taking a lot of time. So in case of here as well, in case of computer application, in case of this computer science, getting the right answer is not always the big deal. But getting it in a more feasible manner or say in a more less time consuming manner, this is what we want. And that's why we will be needing the help of this particular thing, this data structure. Now also, if you see another perspective example, say from software applications, say before going to software application, let us understand from a real life perspective. Suppose say you are in an event and there are 50 persons and you are looking for one person, or say there are 50 friends of yours and you are looking for one friend of yours. So from 50 persons or from 50 friends, finding one friend is really easier, right? But think about instead of 50, if there are 5 crore people and you are trying to find one person. See, the problem statement is same, finding one person. But the size of those particular thing has increased rigorously. So then it becomes difficult. Same way, whenever a software application, say an industry is opening, a startup is opening. At the first, say after 2 months or after 3 months, there are only 100 or 200 customers. So dealing with those customers' data is not that heavy or say is not that difficult. But after say 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, that company grows into a MNC, a big thing. So in that case, whenever they will be growing, the number of customers will be growing. So in that case, suppose now they are having 10 million customers. So in that, this particular thing should run smoothly. The software application should run smoothly, even if the say company size or say customer size is increasing. First it was 10, now it is 10 million. But still it should run smoothly. And who will help in that case? The data structure. So that's why we should learn this. That's why these companies are preferring the guys who knows data structure really well, because they'll be needing in these things. The brain will be needing. For an example, say Google Maps. If I take the help of Google Maps, so what Google Map does, you give one source, you give one destination. So whenever you give, say you want to travel from Kolkata to Delhi, suppose. So you are going by car. Now what it would do, from Kolkata to Delhi, it will be fetching you the most optimized path. That is, what is the smallest distance, during which path, if you follow that path, you will be reaching the at a very fast manner. So try to think that Google Maps is doing it. It is fetching from Kolkata to Delhi the shortest path within some seconds. But try to think, if it was taking the help of, say, all possible path, what it started to do from Kolkata to Delhi, it is taking all possible path, then it is giving you, it is trying to follow the brute force method. So in that case, what would have happened? It would have taken a long time, if you think. Right? From Kolkata to Delhi, if you have tried to take all possible paths, say from Kolkata you are starting and you are reaching Delhi, it is giving you one single path only. But if you have checked all the paths, there might be thousands of paths possible, if you really think about that, if you have gone by brute force approach. So in that case, it would have taken a long time. So you would have reached Delhi before Google Maps would have given you, say, the exact optimized path. You would have said like, "Bhai, मैं पहुंच गया, ठीक है, मेरे को जरूरत नहीं है." Or say, there is a famous scene, I'm just remembering right now, from movie Dhamal. If you have seen, there is a scene that the guy says in a taxi that नाम बताते बताते गोवा पहुंच जाएंगे, ठीक है, and the name is very long. It's like that, okay. So that's why the optimization, for the optimization things and all these things, this particular thing plays a very crucial role. So that is why we will be going for this particular subject. Now if you see, if you see this, there is this name of this whole thing is DSA. D stands for data, A stands for structures, and A stands for algorithm. That is data, structures, and algorithms. But for algorithms, we have a separate playlist already available. That is design analysis of algorithms. So in this playlist, we'll be mostly focusing on the data structure part. Right? Now, what is data and what is data structure? Now, if you see what is data, it is simply, we can say it is some information. Say your name, your age, your phone number, these all are data. Right? Now, these things, if you have some data, but having some data, is it enough? The question is no. Why? Let's take another real life example. Say suppose you have a wardrobe. You have a wardrobe in your home, in your room, right? So what do? You have so many clothes, so you are putting it randomly. You are just taking one shirt and throwing it inside the wardrobe. You have a wardrobe for storing all these things. But what you are doing, you are throwing one t-shirt, throwing one shirt, throwing one jeans inside this wardrobe. Right? Now, for a particular meeting, you have a meeting in 2 minutes and you need to find, or say need to wear a blue shirt. So think about this thing. Will you find it in time? Because it is not organized in a proper way. Whatever you are fetching or whatever you are taking, you are just throwing inside. So at the time of searching, at the time of, say, when you need it at the most, you will not be getting it. Right? Now, if you see that is what? That is having data. Say consider that particular shirt, that particular t-shirt, all are data. And that wardrobe was storing all those data. But having those data was not enough. So it is a thing that is needed. Try to think. We need to structure those data somehow beautifully. Right? So then this data structure comes into the picture. What is this thing? It is a way of organizing and storing data so that it can be accessed and processed efficiently. So that's the wardrobe example just now I have said. So instead of say throwing it, if you would have said that like the t-shirt will be on one column, the shirt will be on one column, the jeans will be on one column, the shorts will be on one column, and so on. If you have organized this way, then finding that blue shirt at the time of meeting was really easier. And that is what is the definition of data structure is saying. That it is a way of organizing and storing data so that it can be accessed and processed efficiently. So what are the operations? If you see, what are the operations we perform in real life? That is, in case of say computer science, we perform operations like insertion, deletion, searching, These are the things we do, right? Traversing, these are the things we do. So these operations becomes really easy. For this wardrobe example, what we are doing? We are doing the searching part. And inserting part is what? Inserting part is nothing but you are taking one cloth and you are inserting inside. Deleting is worse, that some clothes is not needed, throw it away. So these operations, in case of real life, in case of computer science, in case of say any application, this operation becomes really easier if you can organize those things or organize those data very much carefully, very much efficiently, right? So this is the final meaning of data structure. I hope this thing is clear. Now if you see, there is a question, there should be a question in your mind, that can all types of data structure or all type of data be organized in the same way? That is, say you have some data, as I have said, you have some data you are storing inside the wardrobe, but think about this one. Can all type of data be organized in the same way? Suppose, say, for an example, you are taking a class. You are a professor, you are taking a class. And you are taking a class in a classroom or in a section, say, of 50 students. So what you are doing, you are trying to store the name of all the students of that section. So what you can do? You can simply take a list and you can store the name of the students. Right? You can simply take a list like this and you can store, say XYZ is the first name, then ABC, okay, then MNO. These are like names and you can store it, 50 names. So what you are trying to do here, all these names are data and you are trying to store them. You are simply taking the help of one list. We'll be seeing this thing in detail in the coming videos. You do not need to worry. For the time, just understand from the base level very much that you are trying to store this name, store this data in a particular structured way, right? The name of the students of a classroom. Now, if you think from different perspectives, so it is really simple, but from a different perspective, now if you see this, a family tree. So inside a family tree, what are there? Again, the names of the person. Try to think. Here, there are student names. In family tree, there are also some people's name, right? But can we store the name of that particular family tree's names in a list or say in this manner, in linear manner? The answer is no. Why? What happens in family tree? Say there is grandparent and from grandparent they have say grandparent can have two children, children 1, children 2. They can have multiple children and so on. That's how a family tree is structured. Like, so how do you store it inside this? It is really difficult. You cannot store it in this manner, right? So that is the thing that the question is asked, that can all types of data be organized in the same way? See, the data were same. Here also we are storing names, here also we are storing names. But the perspective is different. But the perspective is really different, right? So in that case, this particular thing or say this particular thing are different. Correct? I hope you are getting my point. Say these are storing names, but the need is different. So that's why the data structures used for these two things will be different as well. Correct? So in that case, that's how you need to think, that even if say the data is similar, but all types of data cannot be organized in the same way. So that is the meaning of it, right? So whatever we have seen in this video, we can conclude that we have understood a little bit of the starting portion of this data structure part. And in the coming videos, we will be seeing what are the types of data structure. So data can be divided into several types, primitive, non-primitive and all these things. So we'll be seeing in the coming videos. So I hope whatever I have talked about in this video is absolutely clear to you all. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next videos.